Hans Landa, Inglourious Basterds. Hans Landa, the ruthless antagonist of Inglourious Basterds, is a man who plays both sides and always wins. Nicknamed the Jew Hunter, he wears politeness like a mask, using charm and eloquence to mask a terrifying intellect and moral emptiness. From the very moment he steps into Lapidite's farmhouse, Landa takes control, not with violence, but with psychological warfare. He disarms, traps, and destroys his victims with calm, terrifying precision. But what makes Landa so disturbing isn't just his efficiency as a Nazi officer. It's his total lack of loyalty. When the tides turn, he discards the Reich without hesitation. He ensures the success of Operation Kino, betrays his commanders, and cuts a deal to escape justice entirely. While other Nazis hang, Landa negotiates a hero's welcome in America, full immunity, and even a luxurious retirement. Aldo Rain carves a swastika into his forehead as a small gesture of defiance, but that's the only punishment he gets. In a world that should have condemned him, Landa walks away free, calm, collected, and completely victorious.
You go to hell.
Mm. All right. Let me ask you something. If the rule you followed brought you to this, of what use was the rule?
Anton Chigurh. No Country for Old Men. Anton Chigurh is more than a hitman. He's fate itself. In No Country for Old Men, he moves through the story like an unstoppable force of nature, devoid of empathy or hesitation. With his air-powered captive bolt pistol, Anton treats life and death as nothing more than a coin toss, literally. And in his world, morality is meaningless. The strong don't win. The smart don't win. The lucky do. Even when Sheriff Bell tries to bring justice, he realizes the truth. The world has moved past rules. Anton represents this new world, one where violence is random and justice is obsolete. In the end, Chigurh retrieves the money, eliminates loose ends, and disappears. Even a car accident, which leaves him limping and bloodied, doesn't stop him. It's just fate reminding him, and us, that even he isn't untouchable. But it doesn't matter, the damage is done. He leaves behind a trail of bodies and wins without ever raising his voice.
There never was a Roy.
Jesus Christ, Marty, if that's what you think, I am disappointed in you, I don't mind telling you. There never was an Aaron.
Aaron Stampler, Primal Fear. In Primal Fear, Aaron Stampler appears to be a scared, stuttering altar boy accused of a gruesome murder, but beneath the surface lies something far more chilling. His defense, built on claims of childhood abuse and dissociative identity disorder, wins the jury's sympathy. As Roy, his violent alternate personality, takes the blame, Aaron walks free, declared legally insane and therefore not guilty. But the final scene changes everything. The stutter vanishes, the timid demeanor fades, and Aaron calmly confesses that it was all an act. There was never a Roy. There was only Aaron, a cold, manipulative killer who played everyone perfectly. He doesn't just escape punishment. He weaponizes sympathy, outsmarts the legal system, and smiles as he walks away, completely victorious.
The alley was cold, deserted. My things were where I left them, waiting for me. My coat, my shoes, my spotless gloves.
Ozymandias, Watchmen. Adrian Veidt, aka Ozymandias, isn't your typical villain. In Watchmen, he's a former superhero turned billionaire genius who believes the only way to save humanity is to destroy part of it. His plan? Kill millions in a fake alien attack to unite the world against a common enemy and avoid global nuclear war. The worst part? It works. By the time the heroes discover his plot, it's already done. New York is in ruins. Millions are dead, and the world, horrified by what they think is an alien threat, abandons its war plans to unite in peace. The morality is twisted. The means are monstrous. But the end result is global harmony. Even Rorschach, who refuses to stay silent, is killed to keep the peace. The truth is buried. The villain's plan goes unpunished. Ozymandias wins, not with brute force, but with manipulation, deception, and the sacrifice of others.
Kenobi is now an enemy of the Republic. It seems in your anger, you killed her.
Emperor Palpatine. Star Wars, Episode the Third, Revenge of the Sith. In Revenge of the Sith, we witness one of the most tragic turns in cinematic history, the rise of Darth Sidious, also known as Emperor Palpatine. For years he has operated from the shadows, subtly dismantling the Galactic Republic. He manipulates both sides of a war he created, gains emergency powers legally, and seduces Anakin Skywalker to the dark side. By the time the Jedi realize what's happening, it's already too late. He executes Order 66, exterminating the Jedi Order. He declares himself Emperor, and the galaxy cheers. The Sith don't just return, they take over completely, and the galaxy descends into decades of tyranny. In a saga about hope, this chapter ends in utter darkness, a victory for evil wrapped in applause.
Congratulations, you're a prophet.
I'm a survivor.
Who wants to murder trillions.
With all 6 stones, I could simply snap my fingers.
Thanos. Avengers. Most villains want power. Thanos wants balance through genocide. In Infinity War, he's not just brute force. He's methodical, focused, and terrifyingly convinced that having all life is mercy. One planet, one universe, one soul at a time. Despite the Avengers' best efforts, battles in Wakanda, Titan, and beyond, Thanos gets the Infinity Stones. And in a single snap, he erases half of all living beings. There's no dramatic last-minute save, no twist, just silence. As heroes vanish, families break, and the universe mourns. Thanos retires to a peaceful farm, watching the sunset on a grateful universe. He won, utterly, completely, and unapologetically.
Wanting people to listen, you can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer.
John Doe. Evil isn't loud. It's methodical, patient, and devastating. John Doe isn't just a serial killer, he's an architect of suffering. His murders reflect the 7 deadly sins, each more grotesque than the last. But the true horror comes in the final act. He turns himself in, not because he's done, but because he's planned the final 2 sins perfectly, wrath and envy. He confesses to envying Detective Mills's life, and then reveals he murdered Mills's wife, who was pregnant. That final revelation drives Mills to kill him, becoming Wrath. John Doe dies, but his plan is complete. Every sin fulfilled, every victim was selected, every step anticipated. In a bleak world where justice doesn't win, John Doe controls the final act from inside a box.
Find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. The power of the 3 rings is ended. The time has come for the dominion of the One Ring.
Sauron, the Lord of the Rings. This one's hypothetical, but hauntingly possible. Imagine if Frodo, standing at the edge of Mount Doom, gave into the ring's power. Imagine if Gollum hadn't attacked him, if the ring wasn't destroyed. The eye of Sauron would have flared in triumph. The armies of Mordor would have crushed the resistance. Middle-earth would have fallen into an age of darkness. And Frodo, once the unlikeliest of heroes, would have become the puppet of a dark lord. This alternate timeline is terrifying because it was so close to happening. Evil almost won, and it still haunts fans as the ultimate what-if.
Don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door.
Walter White, Breaking Bad. Walter White starts as a desperate man with cancer. He ends as a drug kingpin responsible for countless deaths. His transformation into Heisenberg is a slow corrosion of morality. Every decision he makes, initially for his family, becomes more about pride, power, and control. By the end, Walter admits the truth. I did it for me. I liked it. Though he dies in the finale, it's on his terms. He eliminates his enemies, secures his fortune, and dies a legend in his mind. The damage he caused, lives ruined, children orphaned, families destroyed, can't be undone. Walter loses his life, but Heisenberg, he wins. The Machine, the Matrix. Before Neo awakened, the world of the Matrix was a nightmare where machines enslaved humanity, and no one even knew it. Humans were farmed for energy. Reality was a simulation, and resistance was buried under layers of control. Even after Neo's rise, the victory isn't absolute. In some interpretations, the machines allow peace only to reset it again when needed. The Matrix isn't just about fighting evil. It's about how evil can disguise itself so completely that you live your whole life never realizing you were a prisoner. In that world, ignorance isn't bliss, it's a defeat. Which of these dark victories haunted you the most? Drop a comment below and let us know which villain you think earned their win, and which ones still keep you up at night. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another dive into fiction's darkest truths.